Welcome, SonicWall channel partners. Hey, I'm at a new location today. I'm at lovely San Diego down here for a industry event for local colleges, counties, and cities. So thanks for those of you who are partners here locally in San Diego. I'm excited. I'm going to bring on a special guest today. We've got Sheldon. Sheldon, you're not able to join me from San Diego, but you're out on the East Coast living life really well, correct?
Absolutely. I wish I could join you out there in that beautiful weather, but soon enough.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, hey, we're excited. The reason I got you out here is we've got some exciting announcements about our Zero Trust ZTNA solution from Cloud Secure Edge, specifically on the SIA side. But before we jump into that, I just want to give a quick little refresher. I'm going to add to stage a couple of notes. So for our partners, number one, attached on this email, you're going to have our May partner price list. Take advantage of that. We are going to be having a price increase July 1st. So as you guys know, we're not the only ones. There's a lot of industry events hitting memory, chips, supplies, storage. So any opportunities or any deals you guys have, let's take a look at that and get those in before the increase in July. And then we're going to talk about our ZTNA solution. So as you guys know, we've got to get a shift away from our customers leveraging legacy SSL VPN and take a more streamlined, more secure route called Cloud Secure Edge. And with that being said, it's coming in a couple flavors, right? I'll say most of the time we're working with partners and customers, 80% of the time it's going into the secure private access, being able to get on-prem access to servers as well as private cloud applications and use that. But where we really haven't taken advantage of, and this is why Sheldon's here today, is to talk about our SIA product, right? Being able to leverage DNS filtering and public access sites from that standpoint. So with that being said, Sheldon, I'm gonna let you kind of talk a little bit. I got a couple slides here that you can touch on and talk to us a little bit about, protecting beyond just the perimeter.
Absolutely. I think we've all sort of started to see this shift over the past 5, maybe a little bit before then years, where everything was on-prem. We were very secure in that. A lot of our customers were that way. And now we're starting to see this evolution where workforces are more hybridized. There's a lot more remote work. Folks are traveling and still need to be able to access things on their laptop, and they still need that same level of protection. So one of the questions that I've been asked pretty recently is, well, why would we use CSE's secure internet access when we already have a firewall and we have all these great security bundles? And I said, you're right, the firewall does do a great job. But as soon as your users step out of that office, they go down the street to go get some coffee. They need to go catch a flight. They're on a client site trying to do something. They don't have that same level of protection that they did when they were in the office. They don't have an enterprise grade firewall in their back pocket. They don't have a malware sandbox going with them everywhere that they go. So with CSE, we're able to bring that protection to the device. So no matter where the user goes, they have that same level of protection. We can do geo-blocking, content filtering, malware analysis, extensive application and DNS filtering and web filtering. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, but I just wanted to sort of kick things off there.
Yeah, that's great. So talk to us a little bit also about how we can leverage our Capture ATP as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of folks are pretty aware of Capture ATP's reputation. It's very strong in terms of malware detection. Multiple years in a row, they've gotten 100% in over 5,000 common vulnerabilities, as well as a variety of other malware variants. So it is a powerful solution. We've taken a lot of lessons learned as we decided to bring that to the endpoint with CSE. So taking a look at some things like the firewall's size limit, we 10x that with CSE. We're at 100 megabytes. And for files larger than that, we're also doing hash lookups. We have throttling of the connection. So we're not just breaking the connection and then saving the file somewhere else that it shouldn't be. So if an application downloaded an update and it goes to use it, it doesn't work. We fixed that problem. We've added some failover. So if the analysis center that you're tied to in terms of latency goes down, we fail over to the next one. And we also handle probably the biggest pain point for DPI SSL implementations, because this feature does require us to intercept the traffic. So we have to do SSL decryption or TLS decryption. And we do that certificate management automatically. So when you install the app, we're installing all the correct certificates. When those certificates need to rotate, we handle that all behind the scenes. So you really lower that overhead that even when you're working with the firewall, it can be a big pain to have to manage all the certificates for your end users, or if they expire, then folks are unprotected, you lose visibility. You don't have any of those troubles with CSE.
Well, you hit that timing perfectly. I just had a Navy helicopter go by. I don't know if you guys could see it. It was super loud. Glad I was muted. So, hey, let's take off slides. You know me. I like to be able to jump in and show the actual application usage, right? So I think what you're going to do, I'm going to bring the stage, your screen share, and I think you're going to walk us through real life scenario of how SIA via Cloud Secure Edge from SonicWall can help our customers out.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few blocking scenarios that I want to walk through, and they all relate to cases that we've seen recently, problems that organizations are trying to solve. The biggest, well, I won't say the biggest one, but one that we've all been hearing a lot about is unsanctioned AI usage. Everyone is concerned that AI is so accessible now that employees may be using unsanctioned tools that either have vulnerabilities or they may not be trained on, which can lead to, pasting API keys or credentials in there that shouldn't be in there. So really wanting to secure the AI attack surface. And we have content filtering. We have an AI ML category. So you can blanket block all API, all AI ML categories. And we'll just take a look at ChatGPT as an example here. You try and access it and your users will reach this block page. And this is customizable too. So you can set this up if you want to tell users when you see the block page to reach out to X, Y, and Z phone number, X, Y, and Z email address. You can take care of all of that. And it also gives you where you're coming from, the reason why it was blocked, and a request ID. So if you're troubleshooting with engineering, it really gives you a good starting point. But in general, the ability to control AI is really helpful for a lot of SMBs right now, particularly when the web browser is the primary place that they're accessing it. Going into ChatGPT, going into Claude in the browser. And of course, there are sanctioned tools, so you can add those into your bypass and that'll allow you to access them. Like we've done with Claude over here. Another example is with the rising geopolitical tensions, folks want to be able to block, sanctioned countries that they may have been seeing an influx of attacks from. And we have an example here of a site based in Iran that we've blocked with our geo-filtering in CSE. And you can see you get that same block page. It tells you the reason is through geo-blocking. It gives you the country as well as the category that's associated with that type of site. So those are two of the hot button issues that we've seen lately. But if you want to get into things that are, common use cases for like schools, for example, you may want to let the kids, they're doing a research paper on sports. You may want to let them access Sports Illustrated, but you don't want them to go to the swimsuit part of the section there. So that's a perfect example. We'll run through that right here. You can see you can access.
How'd you know I do this already? That's great. I already went to Sports Illustrated's website today. Continue on. You're getting me in trouble here.
This one is one of those perfect examples where like we've seen this in real life use cases. So you'll go to access the swimsuit section over here. And as you can see, there's a little bit of downloads going on in the background. We already have malware analysis starting for that. So things that you may not even know are downloading are still being analyzed from our front. You may think that you're protected going to some of these sites, but we make sure you are actually protected. And as I mentioned before, on the DNS or domain blocking front, we blocked the subdomain of swimsuits.si.com. So you can still access the sports aspects, but you can keep things clean for the kids. And we also have the ability to block by URL path. So I'll just give you a quick example of that real quick before we hop into the exciting stuff, which is malware download or the malware file analysis. So I blocked the section of games. You can still access NBA.com, but when you try and go to the games path, denied.
And I think one of the things you had mentioned already, guys, is this block page. For my partners that are on there, whether you guys are installing this for your customers doing themselves, they're not going to get a ton of phone calls saying, hey, my connection's down, the VPN's down. This page is completely customizable, as Sheldon was telling you, right? So in this scenario, if it's as simple as, hey, little Chris, make sure you don't go to the swimsuit page, right? You can be a little fun with it from that standpoint. Or, hey, if there's an active threat going on from a malware, you may want them to call into the hotline right away. Again, completely customizable from that standpoint, along with this reporting on the back end too. So if you guys need a snapshot for your HR, for executive teams, whatever it may be, all done in a nice reporting as well. So carry on, Sheldon. Thank you.
So I guess for the folks who remember, we're in the SOC when Emotech came and decimated a variety of organizations. Let's just do a quick example of that. We'll download this file and we'll see how malware analysis functions. Another one of the benefits that I didn't mention earlier is that that notification for the end user. So if something is being sent to ATP and it's not just hit on a hash lookup, you'll get a notification generally that it's getting sent out. And if it's blocked immediately like that, generally means it got caught on a hash lookup. But let's take a look at something else. Let's look at Arctic Bomb. Did some testing with this, so hopefully that isn't cached, because then it's just going to block it automatically. We have some improvements coming for that too. Yeah, I think that one probably just got blocked automatically. And when those do happen, yeah, you can tell because it didn't end up showing over here. It just, we have caching for hashes. So it's because I had recently tested with it, that was on the block list in the background. And as soon as I went to access it, it already killed it in the background. But for that Flash Killer EXE that I went to go download, you can see it's listed all over here. And you can take a look. It'll give you information on the file hash, the file type, size, request ID, all the stuff that we were talking about before. And any blocks will be available in the console, and those will just be listed as events. So you can go and take a look at your internet access events. And it does take about 5 minutes for those just to populate up, but you have full visibility there. And upon GA, those will be included in your access logs as well. So at the beginning of every month, the last month's logs for allows and blocks will be present there. So we make sure that we keep that for 12 months. So anyone with pretty extensive compliance needs, your auditor comes banging on your door saying, hey, we need proof that your solution monitors and blocks this. Just go download that, send them the file, and they have everything they need.
All right. No, this is great. I really appreciate you driving home this point, Sheldon. So everybody, so I think the main message here is we've got access to tons of resources related to leveraging this technology. We're able to help you out, and if you need any further demos, etc., from us, we're happy to make that happen. With that being said, Sheldon, thank you for your time today. We're going to get this out to all the Southern California and Hawaii partners, and you have a great one. Appreciate your time, everybody. Thanks.